Welcome to That's the Word, wholesome tales for the whole family. I'm Father James Yamauchi. Today's story, The Spiral Architect. The builder knelt down, marveling at the new staircase. As the builder rose to his feet and gazed at the 20-foot spiral staircase, he shook his head and asked the nun next to him, Mother Magdalene, who built this staircase? Mother Magdalene did not have a name. She was only too excited that the staircase was complete. She had been with the builder weeks before to discuss the construction of the staircase for their new chapel. It was an oversight, due to the departure of the architect, that no plans had been made to provide a staircase to the choir loft. The nuns brought in multiple carpenters to get a proposal for the staircase. Every carpenter turned down the project. I did not understand why it could not be built, Mother Magdalene confessed as she looked at the completed staircase, until you explained that since the choir loft is so high, a conventional staircase would extend too far into the chapel, taking too much room and spoiling the beauty of the interior. The builder remembered those words exactly, and how disheartened the sisters were by his recommendation to rip down the loft and build it considerably lower than originally designed. Now, however, the builder was dumbfounded as he studied the staircase that was before him. There were two complete 360-degree turns, with no central pole for structural support. There were no nails in the entire project. The staircase, made out of beautiful spruce, not native to the area, utilized wooden pegs. The builder concluded the entire weight of the staircase rested on the bottom step. The builder stared at the structure some more in silence. Mother, he finally whispered, how can you possibly not know who built this? This could not have happened overnight. Of course not, Mother Magdalene responded in agreement. Mother Magdalene then explained how the sisters decided to pray for a solution that did not involve destroying the choir loft. On the 9th day of prayer, a stranger appeared at the chapel with a donkey and a toolbox looking for work. He was a fit man with gray hair and offered to build the staircase. Mother Magdalene and the stranger walked in the chapel, and the man proceeded to explain where he could make a set of stairs and how they would not take up much space. His one condition was that he was to be given complete privacy. They shook hands, and the stranger locked himself in the chapel and got to work. I only know, Mother Magdalene told the inquisitive builder, that the stranger used the simplest of tools. The sisters and I did see tubs of water with wood soaking in them. I never saw him leaving or entering the chapel. 3 months went by, and then, one day, the stranger departed as mysteriously as he arrived, leaving behind an incredible work of craftsmanship without receiving thanks or any form of payment. Mother Magdalene sought out the stranger in vain. An ad was even placed in the local paper, but no one could identify the gray-haired stranger who appeared at the chapel. Nor, the builder remarked as they left the chapel, can anyone explain to my satisfaction how this staircase exists. It should have collapsed the very first moment it was used. To this day, people marvel at the staircase in the Loretto Chapel, located in Santa Fe, New Mexico, built nearly 150 years ago, when the construction of the chapel was under the care of the Sisters of Loretto, who believed that there was another solution other than destroying their existing choir loft, and decided to pray a novena to one of the most famous carpenters of all time, and who some believe is the very carpenter responsible for the staircase, the guardian of Jesus Christ, and the husband of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Saint Joseph. And for this week, that's the word. When I first arrived at St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Waxahachie, within the first few weeks, there were some parishioners that excitedly told me they had just gone to Loretto and seen this staircase. And I have never been, you have never been, but just seeing the pictures, it's a pretty amazing staircase. I envisioned, okay, it's just going to be this, staircase, but it's actually, if you look online, you look at the story extras, it's a very beautiful staircase.
It is. So the architect, by the way, we mentioned that they lost the architect on this project, and that's the reason why they hadn't made plans to build another staircase or build a staircase, period. So the reason why they lost the architect, based on the sources, is kind of confused. The Loretto Chapel's website itself says that he died, but another website says that there is a letter from one of the sisters saying that the architect left because he couldn't handle criticism of his work.
And just to be clear, there was actually a father who was the architect and a son who was the architect. They were brought over from France, and the father, who was well known, was very elderly and I think even blind. So it was the younger son that took on the project of being the architect for the Loretto Chapel. And so it could be very much that the older architect died, and so that's what was carried on. But it was actually the younger architect who may have left, according to this source, who did not die but left the project. So we just don't know. So it could be very clearly understood why there is a little bit of discrepancy.
It could have been both.
It could have been both. It could have been both indeed. But we do have the tradition of St. Joseph being the carpenter, because that's what in scripture he was known as the carpenter. And so it makes very much sense that the sisters would have prayed to St. Joseph when they did not want their choir loft to be destroyed. And there's this beautiful tradition that St. Joseph indeed came to build this staircase. Whether or not he actually built it, it's very fitting to say that he did build it, since we don't know exactly who built the staircase. But what is the truth of the matter is that the sisters entrusted this project to the care of St. Joseph because they prayed a novena to St. Joseph to find the solution. And as we indicated in the story, on the 9th day of the novena, novenas are 9 days long, the answer came with this architect, or carpenter, I should say, who came and built the staircase.
If you enjoy That's the Word, please share the word. You can sign up for our weekly newsletter at sonsofthunderrock.com. You can also there find our story extras. For this story, The Spiral Architect, you can also find the story extras in the show notes below, where you can see pictures of the spiral staircase. And if you want to get in touch with us, share feedback or story ideas, you can also find our email and social links at sonsofthunderrock.com.
And I just want to give a shout out to all my parishioners at St. Joseph's in Waxahachie. Join us next week for another wholesome tale for the whole family.